So this particular video is like an answer to someone's question on one of my previous videos. So the person was like, can I do a video showing computation of PAYE tax before Finance Act 2020 and after Finance Act 2020? And I'm like, why not? I don't even have a video idea at this point because I think I'm doing things that people are not really interested in. So we have before Finance Act 2020 and after Finance Act 2020. So just let's call it gross income, right? So we already said the person is earning 500,000 naira monthly. So the gross income, the annual pay will be 6 million naira per annum. So that's 500,000 times 12, so 6 million, right? Arithmetic remains the same. Before, we just calculate our consolidated relief allowance, but now the gross income has been redefined for the purpose of computing consolidated relief allowance. So redefinition of gross income, you less pension. Now pension is usually 8% of basic housing and transport. So how do you know your basic housing and transport? Now, in a typical offer letter, or is it appointment letter or employment letter, that letter they'll give you that, oh, you've gotten the job and this is your salary, everything is contained. They usually break down this amount. So they'll break down that 500,000 naira into basic housing, transport, utility, entertainment, lunch. That's usually the way it is, but it can be different from one company or one organization to another, and everything adds up to 6 million naira, which is 500,000 naira monthly. So to calculate pension, like I said, pension is usually 8% of basic housing and transport. So all you need to do is to see basic is 2,100,000 plus housing 1,500,000 plus transport 900,000, okay, equals to, then you multiply by 8%, right? That's 0.08. So you have 360,000 naira. Now, before Finance Act, there was no redefinition of gross income, so nothing happens here. But here, something happens, right? So 360,000 naira. Another thing you less is your NHIs, right? So this NHIs is a voluntary deduction. It's not compulsory, and that's usually 5% of your basic. We've always said basic is 2,100,000 naira. So 0.05%, 0.05 times our basic, which is 2,100,000, is equal to 105,000. Like I said, before Finance Act 2020, you were not redefining gross income. So this is dash, and then you have 105,000 naira. Okay, so you deduct. Then NHF. So NHF is usually 2.5% of basic, right? So let's do that. 0.025 times 2,100,000. That gives us 52,500. This place is empty, and we have 52,500. By the time you cast this, you have 6 million, and by the time we cast this, we have, let's just do that quickly. So we have 5,482,500. and close this, right? So what is this? This is still your salary, this is still your income, but this is the redefined, right? So before Finance Act, this was what was happening. Now, during Finance Act, you now have this as your redefined, gross income. I'm struggling, so sorry. This is not a real board, I'm just improvising. Okay, so you've redefined. Then the next thing to do is now give the relief, right? The consolidated relief allowance. Consolidated relief allowance. And consolidated relief allowance is usually 20% of your gross income plus the higher of 1% of your gross income and 200,000, of which 200,000 is higher. Okay, so 20% of this will give us about 1.2 million plus 200,000 naira. That's 1.4. Do you understand? So we have 1,400,000. Now let's do this. 2% 0.02, sorry, 20% 0.2 times 5,482,500. 5,482,500. That will give you 1,096,500. Then plus 200,000. That gives us 1,296,500. So 1,296,500. So you can now see that, in fact, I think I should even stop here, but I'd like to do it to the level of effective tax rate, so that you can see that the old Finance Act 2020 with respect to PAYE is increasing your PAYE because it has reduced your relief. We are already calculating relief. So before Finance Act 2020, this is where the difference is. Before Finance Act 2020, they were giving you a relief of 1.4 million, but immediately Finance Act was passed and implemented, they started giving you a relief of 1.2. So if your relief has reduced, it means they are taxing a higher portion of your income. Because when your relief reduces, it means your tax increases. Do you understand? So now, after you after the consolidated relief allowance, the next thing are the personal allowances, which are these allowances, right? So let's just be fast about that. Pension, NHIS, and NHF. So let me just call it personal. My God, I'm struggling. Please ignore the dog that is barking. It's midnight right now, and I can't even control it. So don't forget that we've already computed it, right? We've computed pension, NHIS, and NHF. 360 plus 105 plus 520. So let's just do that sharply. So 360,000 plus 105,000 plus 52.5. So that's 517,500 naira. 517,500. 517,500. So you can see that both before Finance Act 2020 and after Finance Act 2020, the allowance is still the same, but it is in the consolidated relief allowance that the main difference is, and the reason is because they redefined the variable upon which consolidated relief allowance is being calculated. Consolidated relief allowance is 20% of your gross income. Now they are saying, no, stop taking 20% of that 6 million. First reduce that 6 million to this amount. I've explained that in that former video, so I shouldn't be saying that. Be saying all of that. The person just wants to know the difference, like doing it side by side, and I'm like, maybe other people might also be interested in that. So this now is your total relief. So this is the total relief they are giving you. So instead of them taxing this whole amount, they will give you this relief. Now to know your taxable amount. So taxable portion. So 6 million minus 1.4 minus 517,500. That will give us 4,082,500, right? And this will give us 4,186,500. So this is 4,082,000. This is 4,186,500. So this tax base is lower than this tax base. Okay, so it means that if they now apply the tax rate on this, it's going to be higher. Do you understand? I feel like we can even just stop here, but let's now try to apply the tax rates as that 7%, all those long process. But let's now try to apply the tax rates. My board space has finished, but I think it's a long process. Okay, so when you apply the tax rate, 7%, 11%, 15%, 19%, 21%, 24%, the tax, let me just say it because I've already calculated it in my note here. So the tax would be 711,800, right? while this one will be 796,640. Yeah, so it means that before Finance Act, somebody that was earning 6 million was paying 711,800 as tax. Then after Finance Act, person started paying 796,640 with the same salary. Do you understand? So that's just the difference. Okay, so you can now say the monthly, you know, you don't pay this one once, so you pay it monthly. You pay tax, you remit your tax monthly before 10th of the next month, right? So you can get the monthly pay, right? So the monthly pay, that's when you divide this by 12, divide by 12, divide by 12. So here we have 59,316.7, and here we have 66,386.7. So you can see that after Finance Act, your tax payable monthly increased even with the same salary level. Here it was lower with the same salary level. So if you want to get the effective tax rate, you just say 59,316, which is how much you pay monthly, divided by 500,000, which is the salary you receive monthly, times 100%, and that gives you 11.9%. I am struggling. And here gives you 13.3%. Yeah. So it means that after Finance Act 2020, your tax rate increased from 11.9% to 13.3%. So that's the whole summary. I hope this video answers your question. This video just feels like a struggle from the beginning to the end. So that's the difference between PAYE computation before Finance Act and after Finance Act. It just slightly increases the tax payable, okay, and that's because of the exemption of the portion of personal allowances from Consolidated Relief Allowance. Do you understand? So thank you so much for watching. If you watched to this point, please, if you have more questions, you can ask me in the comment section so that I can do a video on it. You don't know who it might help, right? I could just help my small capacity. It doesn't even have to be relating to tax. It could be on anything, any other accounting topic, or any other subject, yeah, in accounting. Bye.